What's up? It's Tice, and for those of you who have absolutely no clue who I am, I've been able to scale my phone flipping business up to multiple five figures a month in profit. I've been doing this for a little bit under 2 years. And in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how you could phone flip 10 times faster. Because here's the truth. The faster you could get phones and actually move those phones, the more money you're going to make, period. So if you've been stuck and you're not picking up multiple phones every single day, or you're waiting days, if not weeks, to actually flip a phone, then this is exactly what you need, even if you're starting from scratch, because this will help you skip the line and know exactly how to start out on the fastest path. So this will literally save you days, if not weeks of time. So if you can't sit and watch a quick 15-minute video, then you're probably not going to make it in this game anyway. So let's get right into it. So the first thing that I'm going to go over is the normal way of phone flipping and how people normally do phone flipping, aka the slow way to do phone flipping. So what are the stages of phone flipping? So it's just three things. It's just getting phones, actually meeting up with the customer to buy the phone, and then selling the phones. So normally this is how normal people's process works, the slow process. So normally you reach out to a bunch of people on Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp, or if you're in Canada, a place like Kijiji. So you're just reaching out to people. It's very inefficient, very inconsistent, and it takes a lot of time. But you're just checking Facebook Marketplace every 10, 20, 30 minutes to look for a phone. You message the person, and from there, you just meet up with them at whatever, Starbucks, McDonald's, Wendy's, whatever it is. Then from there, when you buy their phone, this is how people normally just list it on Facebook Marketplace. They list the phone on OfferUp. They list it on Kijiji, and they wait for the phone to sell. So you might not think there's anything wrong with that process, and there's nothing wrong with it. You could completely do that. But if you want to do it 10 times faster, you want to make this process 10 times faster, watch this video. So I'm going to dive into exactly how you could do that. So first of all, this is my process of getting phones. Now, what is the problem with this? It's inefficient, totally inconsistent. And here's the things that I hate about this. Number one is you're chasing sellers. You're constantly following up and waiting on replies with these people. Completely 10x the effort. So you're doing all the work. Instead of leads coming to you, you're going to them, you're chasing them. So instead of leads coming to you, chasing you, you're chasing them. So by default, you don't have the leverage. The customer has the leverage. Very low conversion rate. So you could send 20 people messages. You can message 20 people and maybe get one deal. But in general, you have to send a lot of messages just to actually get a couple deals. Another thing is competition is super high. There's tons of buyers messaging them. So not only is the competition super high, and this is the most saturated way to do phone flipping, but not only is the competition so high, but the reason why it's so high is because you're not only competing with other resellers who are trying to get that phone as quick as possible, but you're also dealing with actual buyers that actually want to buy that phone, like actual customers who actually want to buy the phone to use it. So you have twice the competition in that case scenario. It's hard to filter motivated sellers. Most people aren't in a rush to sell, so they don't take your lowball price, because that's really all this is. It's just lowballing people, hoping that you'll get somebody to agree to your price. And it's hard to filter those motivated sellers because most people aren't in a rush to sell their phone, and for that reason, you can't get them on your lowball offer most of the time. Again, you're on their schedule, meeting times, people flaking, delays, waste your time, all stuff like that. Deals get snatched super fast. By the time you message them, somebody already picked it up. Overall, it's just a manual grind, constantly scrolling, constantly checking. It's just overall, it's like 10x the effort. So what is the faster and better way to source phones? Facebook paid ads. This is by far the fastest, and the best way to source phones. If you do this, you will get way more phones, extremely consistent, and people reach out to you. So you have the leverage. People come to you to sell their phone, right? You get a lot of eyeballs. So from those eyeballs, you eventually will get suppliers, and you'll build relationships with suppliers, buyers, all stuff like that. So overall, it's a win-win running Facebook paid ads. So not only will you get literally like 5 times more phones, but this is such a fast process because people come to you, you get a lot more eyeballs. You're not manually messaging people. You're not manually reaching out to people all day, every single day. And people come to you. So you literally just set up the Facebook ad one time and it just runs. There's nothing after that. You set up the Facebook ad once and it just runs. Boom, just like that. And then you get the results. So yeah, you'll eventually find suppliers, and this is by far the number one way to scale fast. So instead of chasing sellers, they come to you, right? That's what I was just talking about. So this is the number one way to scale, and scale very fast by doing the Facebook paid ads strategy. And this is actual Facebook paid ads. Like, mind you, like you're setting up a business page on Facebook, you're setting up an Instagram business page, stuff like that. This is not a boosted listing. I want to make that very clear. This is not a boosted listing that you're paying $10 for like 2 days or whatever it is. This is not a boosted listing. This is a real Facebook paid ads on a real Facebook business page, on a real Instagram business page. That's what this is, right? So sourcing your phones most of the time, by far, not by far, but it definitely takes up most of the time, right? Sourcing phones takes up a lot of your time. So if you could dumb that down a lot more just by doing Facebook paid ads, it's going to be so much faster. And by the way, if you want help with exactly how to run these Facebook ads, you can just click that first link in the description. Now, the actual meetup. So you need to have a system like meeting at Starbucks, meeting at McDonald's. That's what I do. It's nothing that's slow or anything like that, but you need to have a meetup system that actually makes you more money. So not only makes you more money, but saves you time. Right? So if you're just going to the meetup, you're handing over the cash and you're walking away and you're leaving, you're totally leaving money on the table. If you just go to the meetup, you check the phone, you inspect the phone, you do what you got to do, the IMEI, all that stuff, and then you just walk away, you're totally leaving money on the table. You need to have a solid meetup system that helps you negotiate better, find more devices, build repeat business. And that's like the difference between $100 profit and $300 profit, or $500 profit, or a lifelong customer, right? That's the difference. So here's what I do. First of all, negotiate on the spot. This is going to make you more money right off the bat, negotiating on the spot. You want to show up to the meetup knowing that you're going to get them down on their price on their phone. You want to show up to the meetup and know, I'm going to get this guy down $50. I'm going to get this guy down $100, because that means there's more money, more profit in your pocket. You have to negotiate if you really want to make a good amount of profit every single phone. Next thing is getting repeat business. So handing them business cards for referrals, stuff like that, offering incentive for them getting you referrals, stuff like, I'll give you $25 every person you refer to me that sells me a phone, stuff like that. Also asking for a review. So these are all things that you should be doing at a meetup. Like, write this down. Get repeat business, obviously negotiate on the spot, ask for a review so it makes you more trustworthy. And in this game, reputation is everything. People think phone flippers are scammers sometimes. Like, I'll get people reach out to me and be like, is this real? Is this a scam? Stuff like that. And if you have tons of reviews built up, it makes you so much more trustworthy, and it makes people actually go with you over selling their phone to a different person. So get a review every single time you go to a meetup. Make sure they leave the review in front of your face, because if you say, yeah, yo, can you leave me a review? And they'll be like, yeah, I'll do it in the car, or yeah, I'll do it when I get home. No, they won't. Have them do it right there. Send them a link right there. Also, anyone who sells you a phone, get their phone number. This has by far been one of the biggest things for me. Anybody who sells you a phone, you have to get every single one of their phone numbers, because you could text them later on. They could text you later on. You could text them when the new iPhone comes out. You could constantly send them texts, because people get iPhones. Most people get a new phone like every year, every 2 years. So it's a good thing to just get their phone number. And they could text you if they just have a device randomly laying around or something like that. Now, this is by far the biggest thing at the meetup, is asking them if they have more phones. Ask if they have other phones or electronics, and you will be so surprised the amount of people that have more phones, or the amount of people that will be like, some people will, now, let me stop. Most people will have more phones. Like most people will have another phone laying around that's cracked or that's financed and they didn't think that they could sell that type of phone or whatever it is. Most people will have at least like one phone laying around. But from asking people if they have more phones, this gives you potential to meet another phone flipper. Because there's been multiple times where I've asked, because always, every single meetup, I always ask, hey, do you have any more phones for sale? Or do you have any more phones laying around maybe? You know, I buy iPhone 11 and newer. They could be cracked. They could be financed, whatever. And sometimes there'll be a guy and that I meet up with, and he'll be like, yeah, I actually I get a couple phones every single week, or I get 10 phones a week, I get 20 phones a week, and I actually kind of do this on the side. And that's how you meet suppliers. You can meet suppliers just by asking, yo, you got more phones? And that's how I met my first supplier, basically. He reached out to me from my Facebook ad, met up with him. I was like, yo, he sold me like 4 or 5 phones. I can't remember. But he sold me a couple phones. And I was like, you get any more phones? He was like, yeah, I get a lot of phones. So I got his phone number and he started supplying me with like 50 phones a month, and then 100 phones a month, and then 150 phones a month. And it just spiked from there. So just by asking if somebody has more phones, you could build a literal lifetime connection that will make you tens of thousands of dollars. Obviously an extreme situation, but it will happen, and I've seen it happen with not only me, but people I work with. Another thing is stack meetups in one area within like the same time frame. So plan multiple meetups back to back. So if I have like 5 meetups for the day, I'm not trying to drive here and then all the way over there and then all the way over here and then there and there. Try and make them within the same little area. This is what I do literally every single day. Now I won't really have them meet up at literally the same location. I'll have another meetup for like a minute down the road or like across the street or something like that, because I just feel like it's wrong if I'm at a McDonald's and some people pull up early, some people pull up late. It's very unpredictable, and then they'll see you buy another person's phone and make money on that phone. I just don't really like it. So I plan multiple meetups back to back. So if I'm meeting somebody at 12, I'll tell somebody, hey, meet me right here. It'll be like a location like down the street, and I'll tell them, yo, meet me here at like 12:10, something like that. So it saves time, saves gas, saves stress, because you don't have meetups that are 30 minutes away from each other. So that's my whole meetup process. Now, selling phones process. This is the biggest thing. This is by far what takes the most time for most people, because most people sit on their cash and most people wait days, sometimes weeks, to sell their phones. And if you're sitting on your cash, like, you want to move phones as quick as possible. And if you're not moving phones as quick as possible, like the faster you can move your phones, the faster you're going to get that money back, which means the faster you could go buy more phones and then sell it right back. Right? So the faster you could sell your phones, you get your money back, boom, you're out buying more phones. So by the time you listed your phone on Facebook and you sold it 1 week later, I already sold my phone to my buyer, and I already picked up 5 more phones in the process and just kept up. Pick up a phone, sell it to the buyer. Pick up a phone, sell it to the buyer. So in the meantime, while you tried to sell that one phone, I already bought and resold 5, 10 phones, whatever it is, right? So you're probably selling your phones on Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, Kijiji, stuff like that. This is why this absolutely sucks, and I absolutely hate this. It takes days or weeks to sell, so there's no guaranteed timeline. It's completely unpredictable. There's lots of unserious buyers. People lowball, people flake, or ghost after messaging you like, hi, is this still available? And then never reply again. Endless back and forth, obviously, with the same questions over and over. What's the battery health? Or what's the IMEI? Or does this work? Or whatever it is. Time wasters, lowball offers. People ask half the price with no shame. That's a big one. People will ask you on your $500 listing, people will be like, yo, can you do $150? And like, it's completely normal. No shows at meetups. This is a big thing that really, really pisses me off when people no show at meetups. It's very hard to scale because everything is manual. You're dealing with one buyer at a time. Price shoppers, obviously everybody's looking for the best deal. And then Facebook does limit your reach. So sometimes your listing barely gets any views and you can't do anything about it. Like, you can't do anything about it. And you're sitting, like, this is obviously the biggest thing, which I just said, is you're sitting on your cash for days, if not weeks. You're just sitting on your cash when you could be getting paid and moving that cash as quick as possible. Like, the whole name of the game, you want to move your cash, you want to move your money as quick as possible. You don't want to be sitting. You don't want to be sitting on your money, because you can get that money, go buy more phones with it instantly. So what is the faster and better way to sell phones? Direct buyers. Now, if you do this, get instant sales. You could get phones literally. I could get 100 phones today, and I could overnight ship them and get paid tomorrow. So you could get phones, ship them overnight, and get paid the next day. That's the best thing about this. So you have guaranteed prices. You know exactly what you'll make before buying the phone. You know exactly what you're making. You could sell in bulk. You can move tons of phones at once instead of selling one by one, meeting one person at a meetup. You literally you could sell however many phones you have. 10 phones at once, 20 phones at once, 100 phones at once. No wasted time listing, so you don't have to waste time taking photos, writing descriptions, posting ads, any of that BS. No meetups with randoms. Yes, predictable profit margins. You know exactly what you're getting paid. And it becomes a system, not like a hustle. Like, you know exactly everything. You could actually build a real business with doing this. And it's a lot easier to train and delegate. So this is a big thing for people who want to scale really far, is you could outsource flips when the back end is completely streamlined. So this is like the whole back end, the whole backbone of the business is selling the phones. And when that's completely not a worry at all, because you have these buyers, the only thing you have to worry about is just getting more phones. And as long as you can do that, you're going to make a shit ton of money, because your whole back end is completely automated and you already know everything. This is the whole backbone of the business. And when you don't have to worry about it at all, only thing you have to worry about is, how can I get more phones? How can I get more phones? So boom, just like that. And all your, like I said, focus on sourcing. All your energy could go into finding more profitable deals. And they buy every single phone. So by default, you're going to make so much more money because they buy every single phone. With Facebook Marketplace, you can't find somebody who buys blacklisted phones. Regular people on Facebook Marketplace, they won't buy blacklisted phones. They won't buy financed phones. They won't buy iCloud locked, passcode locked phones, phones that don't power on, water damage. They won't buy those types of phones because they can't use it, right? Direct buyers, they will buy those types of phones. So by default, you're going to make more money because you have so much more streams of income able to come in through carrier locked phones, blacklisted phones, cracked phones, iCloud locked phones, all that stuff. With the buyers, like, it looks something like this. So obviously you have like a grading scale. So how they grade their phones, grade A is like obviously the best grade. So new, mint condition, grade B. This is where 90% of your phones that you get are like grade B. So this is just a grading scale and stuff like that. And you look at the price sheet, you know exactly what you're getting paid for that phone. And it also tells you exactly what to deduct for what's wrong. So it's literally like your dog could do it. Like, my dog could literally do this. So it's very, very easy. It tells you exactly what to deduct for what thing. You get the private buyer's phone number. But cracked back for 16 Pro, you deduct $180. Cracked lens, minus $30. No Face ID, ask, and all this stuff is, you just text the buyer and ask him what he will deduct. So yeah, this is how to phone flip literally 10 times faster. And if you want my help, my personal help doing this, you want my personal help setting up your Facebook ads, you want my personal private buyers that I use, you could go to my first link in the description and you can book a call with me. And if we do work together, I'll give you the full entire step-by-step everything, how I run my Facebook ads, who I sell my phones to. You'll literally get their phone numbers. You'll get my phone number too if we work together. Overall, we'll just work one-on-one together. I have worked with multiple people that I've started from complete scratch and scaled all the way up to 4, 5, 6, 7, even 8K a month from complete scratch in just a couple months. And I have multiple clients that joined me when they were only making 1, 2, 3K a month of phone flipping, and now they joined me, and now they're doing obviously better numbers, like 7K a month. This dude started from scratch. He made 8.5K profit in 2 months. And then this dude, Isaiah, he started from scratch, and now he's making about $18,000 a month. But yeah, if you do want to work with me, you can book that call.